believe this shit. I don't hit on this ticket. Why? Because it's not the right fucking spread. These niggas lost by 1. See what I'm saying? Other than that, everything good. Just waiting on the basketball game. This hoe right here.
Hold on, bro. The same shit just happened to me. Same shit happened to me. I just lost and them niggas just in the 10th inning, bro. 10th inning, them niggas just hit. Them niggas just hit motherfucking 2-run home run to fucking seal the deal, and that shit cost me my what's the name? Pittsburgh Pirates did me the same way, bro. Same way. What's going on, everybody? Gonna give everybody a few minutes to see, give them about 5 or 6 minutes to see how many we get on the stream before we get started. This is the private stream, so you can ask any questions. Let me see here. I don't know if the chat is on. Everything was working fine yesterday when I was streaming. Now all of a sudden, not so much. But oh well. We'll just give it like 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, we'll go ahead and just get started. As you can see, you had a little bit of movement in the markets today. Normally on Sunday afternoons when you see movement in the markets, whether it be positive or negative, especially for Bitcoin, and depending on which way Bitcoin goes, depends on the rest of the market most of the time. So as you can see, Bitcoin is up 1%, Ethereum is up 1%. These are stable coins right here. BNB is down 0.52%. XRP is up 0.9%, 96%. And then we have Cardano that's up 3.58%. Solana, which is up 1.77%. Which Solana is pretty much is a good buy right now, and I will continue to DCA into Solana as it falls, because most of the NFTs that are not just NFTs, but Solana was $100 and some, so it's starting to boom this summer. So it's a coin that you might want to look out for or do some research on. So, but it's up 1.77%. You have Dogecoin is up 1.37%. Polkadot up 3.17%. And then you have Tron down 0.38%, Avalanche up 0.57%, and this is just in the 24 hours, okay? So it's not weekly, monthly, anything, just 24 hours. All right, Shiba Inu up 6.9%, Polygon up 2.5%, Litecoin up 1.6%, FTT 0.71, CRO 2.02, Near Protocol up 4.86%. All right. Monero, Stellar, both up 6%. Ethereum Classic up 2%. Chainlink 3.9%. Cosmos 1.9%, and Algorand 3.82%. Right. So we'll do a little bit of articles, and then we'll talk about the IP rights, and then we'll look at some of the charts. Right. And so we'll start doing this every Sunday at around 6:15 p.m. So we'll have a scheduled time and something for you guys to look forward to. Okay, so first article we want to get into is the it's a opinion article. Okay, virtual real estate is booming, and I actually agree with this opinion. And if you are not into virtual real estate, after this article, maybe you will reconsider or at least do research into, possibly investing in things that you can do with it. Okay, um, so we'll get into this article. It says the metaverse is a booming industry with artists, musicians, and numerous companies with different industries eager to jump into the bandwagon, which is true because you got Nike, you got Adidas, you got a slew of other companies that are actually building in metaverses and things right now. And the reason why it's not popular, it is popular, but it's not popular, is because people are building in it, and that so it seems like it's not a lot of noise that's being made as far as metaverses go, but it's the foundation is being built, and like it says right here, some of them already jumped in, from Meta, Microsoft, to other IT giants, to fashion brands like Gucci, and multinationals like Adidas, PepsiCo are setting up shops in the metaverse by buying or leasing properties. That's one way you can make money. Okay, leasing or renting out your land. Right. Now it says new opportunities for real estate agencies. Metaverse real estate agents and companies buy land plots on blockchain-based ecosystems such as Sandbox and Decentraland and lease them to other companies and individuals interested in diving into the virtual reality space. However, virtual problems remain in this market. The biggest is that several businesses and individual investors still don't understand the space and its technology. Luckily, numerous metaverse real estate agents can guide every purchasing stage just like they do with real life properties. So there are actually, you know, real estate agents that are in the metaverse that are making money by selling land and explaining, the properties, explaining, the area, whatnot. Are people that are actually building businesses around this right here, around selling properties in the in the metaverse. I myself own quite a few metaverse properties and different metaverses, and I did not know what I was going to do with them at first until I decided with my advertising company and everything that I'm putting together, and it's like, hey, I got all this prime real estate in prime areas in different metaverses, some AR metaverses and some VR metaverses and some 2D or 3D metaverses. So I should just formulate all this together and form a business around it, and be able to some type of marketing company, advertising company, or just any type of online business that I have. And you have stores in these different metaverses that people are actually involved in and actually visiting. You can sell your product in, or you can rent out your space to businesses or whatnot. All right, so down here you get to the benefits. It says what metaverse properties are still somewhat in the early stages. Prices have been surging steadily, considering the popularity of NFTs in general. As such, the parcels of lands are NFTs, a type of digital asset that's stored on the blockchain. For those that didn't know what NFT was. People who are not tech savvy don't have to worry about this process, as the technology behind NFT protocols automatically does it for us. For example, on OpenSea, the largest NFT marketplace by sales volume, anyone can turn a digital file, whether a JPEG or an MP4, into an NFT by minting it, which is very intuitive and straightforward process that consists of making a few clicks. Right? Some real estate companies can also use these marketplaces to buy land plots from different metaverses, the most popular ones being Sandbox and Decentraland. The land plot is stored on a blockchain address, giving the complete control and ownership of the asset. So like I said, it's stored on a blockchain. As long as you have it in your wallet, you have complete access to it. You can build on it, rent it out, do whatever it is that you want to do to that parcel of land. Okay. Land parcels within metaverses are already tokenized, of course, registered in the respective blockchain, thanks to the transparent nature of the blockchain. All right. So let's go down here. It says while the opportunities are vast and we can compare physical versus virtual real estate, the main differences being virtual real estate purchases are made directly, no middleman is needed. Unlike physical real estate, parcels of land can be purchased with cryptocurrency. Once purchased, ownership is transferred to the buyer automatically on the blockchain, so it's automatic, just like when you buy cryptocurrency. All right. So it says like physical real estate, anyone looking to buy real estate property needs to consider location, size, and land scarcity, which is very true because you don't want to buy land in the metaverse or buy parcels of land that you know that nobody else around owns or nobody else is building around, because part of the whole making the value is building something that's attractive depending on what type of metaverse that you're in. If you're in the gaming metaverse, then you want to build something that's attractive, that's going to attract players to your parcel, because that's how you're going to get paid, is by every time they walk over your land, etc. You know, outside of putting, you know, outside of putting, you know, whatever product that you know, inside of whatever that you built or whatnot. So, all right. So it says, where are we at? Certain districts and metaverse ecosystems are better depending on location, and businesses can create marketing campaigns that reach out to broader traffic. Like, for example, of what I just said, what I just spoke on. You get into a business district of a metaverse that has Gucci and Louis Vuitton building around you, that, you know, that real estate that you have is going to be very, very popular. You know, so very, very, it's going to appraise pretty well. It's not only about advertisers though. Certain players in this field are taking it to the next level. Uh, Adrian Ching, CEO of New World Development, bought one of the largest land plots in Sandbox. He plans to create a mega city to develop an innovation hub for tech and business startups. So see, it's not even just that. So that's how people are using it. So this right here was really what I wanted to get at that stood out to me. It says the global metaverse market is currently over 500 million. So it's already 500 million people across the world that are already currently in the metaverse. And experts currently forecast the industry to be over 1 billion by the next 5 to 10 years. So that's how early that you are. So you have to remember this and remember that you're early, you know, and within the next 5 years, you know, that parcel of land that you spend $100, $200 on or whatever, it's gonna balloon to, you know, 20, 30 some thousand depending on what metaverses you bought it in. All right. So that leads me to another thing. About you know, metaverse, you know, who we are. So there's certain things in the metaverse, you know, that are moving toward identity and you know, being able to verify your identity in the metaverse when you're in certain metaverses. And so doing, you know, and a lot of people do this for ENS domains. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that as well. So it says, soon enough we'll be interacting with the metaverse and Web3 as often as we do with the current iteration of the internet. Yet, unlike Web2, the next generation will feel more like will feel a little more lifelike. Web3 has the opportunity to include self-sovereign identity layer that will also be primary passport into metaverse. Self-sovereign identity will solve many of the internet's current issues and may lead us to rethink how we represent and prove who we are. Self-sovereign identity means you are individually owned, you as an individually own the data that you produce or bring online. It's sovereign because you can choose to share certain elements of that data only up to the point that's required and no more to reach a desired end. With Web3 uniting as so many different areas of our digital and physical lives, there is a need for precise control over how we represent it across these various spheres. The endpoint is essentially where you access goods, services, or join digital communities. Self-sovereign identity, from a foundational point of view, is comprised of multiple elements, right? So you have private, it's accessible, and scalable. So companies are interested in users first and foremost, which is why they like buy and sell your information, you know, from certain products and certain things that you do in certain interactions or whatnot. So everything they do from initial design to marketing is the service of the variation on one main question: can this help bring in more users? Can this help us bring them on in a fraction-free way? Is there an easier way to acquire them? And so, as companies build out their Web3 strategies, they must think about customers in the metaverse. A company's approach to identity will determine a lot about the relationship with users. If the process is cumbersome, invasive, and repetitive, they will drive many potential customers away. The onboarding process must be user-friendly, and most of all, it must be possible. It must be fast as possible. All right. So, what are different like levels of the identity or whatnot? So, one of them, you know, is the is ENS. You know, if you're not familiar with ENS, it is the let me see. You can go on OpenSea and you can type in pull up ENS and you see ENS domain names. So you have it's Ethereum name service. So you have this is not it though. Let me see if I can find something better. Pretty much each blockchain have has this name service. Okay, like Solana has it as well, and it's pretty much you can register your domain, and it's pretty much your identity for your brand and your business. And this right here is like on Web3, and it's kind of like branding and everything. So pretty much what the one way of the article is talking about, social identity, and one way to go about it, right? So, which this also leads me into to this right here, which is the main thing that I want to talk to you guys about, which is NFTs. All right, NFTs, and one of the biggest utilities that you can have with NFTs. You know, and just to give you an example about the domain name, as you can see, Nike bought this digital shoe company called RTFKT, right? And then they just bought .swoosh, right, for 35,000. Okay, so they ended up doing this right here. ETH domain names. That's what it was. Let's stop the domains. So they went in here, and somebody who, when this stuff first came out, somebody who thought of okay, well, somebody else bought Nike, let me just buy .swoosh. Typed in .swoosh. It was available. Boom, they got it. All right. So that's another way that people are making money in this crypto industry or whatnot with the NFT. But that is a NFT. So to get back into this, to speak about NFTs, I'm gonna go ahead and read this article, and then we'll start talking about the IP rights. All right, so it says that Nike, RTFKT, Nike's Web3 arm now owns 10 Ethereum name service domains, following the purchase of .swoosh.eth for 19.72 ETH, roughly 35,000. Nike's exact reason for the .swoosh purchase on Friday remains unclear, but as some have pointed out on Twitter, Nike may have plans to use the domain for issuing ENS subdomains in the future. ENS subdomains are controlled by the main domain name holder. For example, Nike would allow holders of specific NFTs or other assets the ability to register the ENS subdomain under Nike swoosh.eth. All right. Kate.swoosh.eth would be one such example. All right. So, so in other words, you say, why is it big? So since Nike owns .swoosh, so Nike could be like, okay, you a loyal Nike customer, and for our loyal Nike customers, we'll allow you to use our subdomain with your first name. So in other words, they could be like, okay, so we're gonna let you have the crypto hangout .swoosh.eth, and that's gonna be yours, and you can have that, and that's gonna be yours in the metaverse. That's gonna be your domain website domain. That's gonna be everything that you can use for it. So it says RTFKT now owns 10 ENS domain names on OpenSea, etc. In addition to .swoosh.eth, RTFKT also owns artifacts.eth, RTKT.eth, skinvial.eth, drmoss.eth, mintvial.eth, dreamos, and I'm not gonna read all these, but they own all these right here. Says Nike ENS plays do appear to be part of a larger strategy based on its current holdings. The Mint Vow is likely a reference to the CloneX Mint Vow Ethereum NFTs, which can be burned to create a unique CloneX avatar NFT. So even Nike is getting producing NFTs separate, or looking at NFT companies to buy separate than their the ones that they have that are creating their Nike shoe NFTs, which you get they're having, and that's another thing. Nike and Adidas, they're dropping out NFTs specifically for the metaverse that allow you to get different perks. Some of them allow you to have discount on different shoes. Some of them give you actually give you the shoes or whatnot. So it's just a lot of things that they're doing with these NFTs, and why that you need to be in this space and be looking out for this. Alright, so Space Drip is a reference to Nike Space Drip NFTs, which is a digital shoe NFT that allows the holder to forge a physical version of the shoes. See, so if you have this NFT, then you'll be able to probably redeem the NFT to get the physical version of it. It says RTFKT skin vials are also NFTs that can be burned to change the look of Nike's RTFT crypto kicks, which launched last month. Whatever its plans are, .swoosh.eth, Nike has a track record of buying and trademarking a wide range of affiliated names and logos. Last year, it filed trademarks for Nike, Nike Land, and Just Do It for a broad range of metaverse applications, as well as Nike Swoosh and Jumpman logos. That's because they haven't announced it yet, but it's my suspicion that they're probably going to build their own metaverse called Nike Land with all the Nike shoes and everything, where you just be able to go and shop, etc. Instead of and that's why one reason why they took all the Nikes out of these stores, like etc. So, all right, so that leads me on to this right here, to what we call the IP rights. All right. So even though I do invest in NFTs, I do, it is kind of risky. You do have to do a lot of research, and even then, by doing research, you can still not get the correct one and whatnot. So, but this is one way that one of the things that I look at that are big, as far as is the IP rights. Because for the simple reason of IP rights, there's a lot of things you can do with it. So I only invest in NFTs that I can actually own the IP rights, which means I actually own the image on there that I actually bought, and I can do whatever I want to do with it. Okay. Now, so we'll go into this article real quick. It says non-fungible tokens give us digital ownership. However, there's a lot of confusion around what it means in terms of owning something. NFT projects can choose to provide several different copyright options to holders of the NFTs depending on the project's goal or legal issues, right? And so one of them is the CCO, and so I had to look up what the CCO was, and it's actually the Creative Commons license. So the Creative Commons license allows copyright holders to retain the copyright to their works while giving the public permission to use these works under certain conditions. And basically, this is what I'm looking for when I'm purchasing and looking for an NFT. All right, and one of the to give an example of that is the Bored Ape Yacht Club restaurant. One of the owner of that actually, had bought a Bored Ape, and they, of course, Bored Ape gave everybody IP rights to it, and he actually used his NFT ape that he bought as the logo, as far as the marketing and the artwork on the branding, should I say, is what he used it for. Alright, so it says Creative Commons is the intellectual property standard adopted by significant NFT projects like MFers, Nouns, Bitmaps, and CryPTO. Alright, and so it's kind of throwing a little wrench in the copyright laws, because like I said, it's them maintaining their original copyright, but also licensing it out to you. Well, not necessarily licensing it out, but giving it to you. You have all rights to it. You have all rights to it. They just have the rights to the name and the original branded logo or whatnot. Alright, and so that's one of the things that I wanted to show you with you guys, and share with you guys, that when you're looking for these NFTs, that you have to look for that, and you have to let this be one of the main things that you look for, because like it says right here, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they bought CryptoPunks, and then when they bought CryptoPunks, they gave people who own CryptoPunks the same rights as the Bored Ape Yacht Club Yuga Labs did. And so, like it says, that was the big point of discussion for them, and that's actually what kind of catapulted that Bored Ape Yacht Club into the sphere, because people were like, the artwork is cool, the community was cool and everything, but they were able to use and make side and separate businesses with the artwork that they had bought from the the artwork that they had bought from the NFT, etc. So that's why this is so big, and a lot of people don't understand how this utility right here is one of the main utilities that you should look for in this, because there's a lot of things that you can do. You can make short films with your ape, with your NFT. You can make, you can lease your NFT out to different businesses or whatnot to for their branding or for their logo, whatever or whatnot. For instance, you say you have there's a lot of things. It's just a lot of things that you could pretty much do with your NFT, as long as you have the IP rights under the CCO. Okay, so that's one of the things that I look for. All right, so next we're going to get into we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart, and then we're going to talk about a couple of NFTs you can get right now on Solana. Okay, some blue chips that are pretty good, that are not terribly since the prices have dipped, not too terribly expensive. All right, so this right here, well, we'll go ahead and start looking at the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. All right, so this is the Bitcoin 1 hour chart, and as you can see, you have resistance right here at 29,000. You had a lot of buying pressure right here, so you got that volume for that 1 hour, which caused the RSI to rise up. But as you can see, it started selling off a little bit, and it did actually break that resistance line, and you had 1, 2, and the third time it touched resistance. But you have to understand that Bitcoin overall is on a decline right now, on a descending wedge, and I want to show you that here in a minute. Okay, so this like I said, this is the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. So we'll see if it holds right here, this level right here on the 1 hour. If it does, then you possibly could see some more movement up towards the 30 again. But if you do see movement up to the 30, then I don't suspect that it breaks 31. But that's just my opinion. All right, so this is the 4 hour chart right here. And you see on the 4 hour chart, you had a little bit of selling right here, and you had a little bit of buying pressure. But the RSI is still looking over 50. You got the MACD. It's not a lot of green in here, the MACD, but that's another reason why I say that you'll probably wake up in the morning and it'll probably be red, more than likely on that. Now, when I was saying that Bitcoin is on a descending chart, descending reg, let me show you guys. All right, this is the daily right here. All right, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of red, had a little green, 2 more days of red, then we had what, 3 more days of green. But as you can see, this right here is 47,000. Okay, and then if you go all the way, if you want to go even more, this right here is the peak. 66. This is what, 68,000. So look at that descending pattern that it's on. Okay, now it's going to keep on doing the same thing until it breaks these trend lines right here. It has to break this downward trend line. Until it breaks this downward trend line, then you're not going to see any positive, a considerable amount of upward price action, price movement. You're not going to see that. So that is why you have to look. You have to zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. All right. Now that was briefly the Bitcoin that we went over. So now we're going to go over some NFTs that are reasonably prices that you're still able to get. This is Magic Eden. This is the Solana network. Okay. Now this NFT just dropped. It's one that I'm going to get. I'm watching, should I say? Right now it's about $90. It's called Ganja Gators. Okay, and it's a lot of, what you do is you can click right here and go to the website and check it out. Check out, the roadmaps and what all they have planned. If they have a staking token, if they're going to, and what all they're going to, plan for it, if you own the IP rights, etc. Okay, but when I go and look for different things, not only am I looking at the artwork, but sometimes the artwork doesn't matter. You know, if I'm looking for a flip or whatnot, I'm looking at the activity of it, and I'm looking and I'm seeing, as you can see, activity, people are buying, but the prices are down right now, so that's one that you might want to look into. Another one is, if you have the money and the funds too, is this right here, Stoned Apes and the Mutant Apes. Okay, as you can see, the cheapest one, the entry barrier into this is 56 Solana. Solana is $44.80, so it's going to cost you quite a penny. But when Solana was $100 or more, you can only imagine how much that it cost to enter one of this barrier here. Okay, another one that we have is let me see, is Bohemia, of course. Same thing with Bohemia. When it was $100, you can only imagine what it was. Right now, so it's $44.80. So this is a good blue chip project to get into. Grim Syndicate as well. Okay, and when Solana was $100, this was $900, as you can see. So this is a good project you want to get into. Then you have Smokeheads. So the price has actually fallen a little bit, which I'm glad. I'm going to see if it falls a little bit more, and then I'm going to try to get one. As you can see, this right here, and then all you have to do is go up here, click on the website, and go to the Twitter pages and stuff. Now, if you have the money, this is a good one to get into. As you can see, the price floor of this right here. Yeah, so if when Solana goes back up, you can only imagine. So if you have the money to get into this blue chip, I would definitely get a few of those, as well as a couple of OK Bears. If you see the floor on that as well, definitely get some of those. I would definitely get some of these if you could, and some famous foxes. Would definitely get some of these. And some Catalina whales. As you can see the price on those, if you can afford, then I would definitely get some of those. Some tombstones. Price, as you can see, price got all the way up to let's see. Price got all the way up to 17 of these. So yeah, I would get some of those. I would even get some cardboard citizens. Okay. Especially while Solana is cheap right now, and if it continues to fall. And we'll look at, let's see, there's one more. Where's my monkey ass? Where's monkey? I don't know if that was it. I think that might be it. I'm not sure. if you can afford some kits, then I would get some kits on crack as well. Get some kits as well. And some Astros. Can afford those. And the thing about it is that the price of Solana is falling, so you want to get into these while the it may be 20 something Solana, but if the price is $100, that's $2,000 to get an NFT to get in. So, but if the price is falling down to $20, as opposed to 2,000, spending 200-300. The Orch is not a bad project too. It's moving on, so it'll be one I would get into as well as Ghost Kid. As you can see. All right, so yeah, this is what we're gonna do every Sunday, 6:15. We'll do it live, and I have a whole show set up for y'all. I'll have guests and etc. I will also we'll go more into depth and different things, and you'll be able to ask questions and ask to look at different charts and etc. All right. So appreciate everybody that joined, and if you are watching after watching the replay, go ahead and comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the channel, like the information I provide to you, like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the like or dislike button. Help with the YouTube algorithm. It would be much appreciated. As we're trying to grow the channel, we're trying to grow our reach and our brand and our brand pretty much. So to the next video, to the next Sunday, we'll come up with the whole title, the whole show, and the whole name and everything. So you'll start seeing a lot more of this every Sunday. So until next Sunday, 6:15, this is Crypto Crane signing out. Peace.